What is up, everyone? My name is Serena. I am an intuitive guide, and I'm dropping in to offer some collective intuitive guidance. So I spend time dropping into the current energy and just channeling any messages that want to come through. I have just got home from a walk, so I'm just in my sweats. But I just felt to do the reading now. I'm just tuning into what is here and what wants to move through me as a messenger for the collective at this time. Setting the intention that it will be received by those that most need to see it and receive it at this time. I'm just seeing 911 on my phone and calm. There's this period of completion. There is a completion energy with the full moon too. The full moon was last night. And I'm really feeling like it's this message from the ancestors that we are to trust what is ending in our world right now. I was also receiving this message for myself earlier around really letting go of control. And what I mean by this is a time of surrender, of handing, that saying, giving it over to God, giving it over to the divine, actually putting all of the fears and the concerns and the worries and the anxieties and the whatever it is that you're moving through, and actually feeling yourself just place it energetically, emotionally, intentionally on the altar of the divine, of the earth. It's like giving it over to God, giving it over to the divine, releasing the attachments that we have to outcomes, to situations, to experiences, to people, to places, to things. This is a time of handing it over. Freedom from judgment, free to love. I feel that just encapsulates what I was just saying. It's like, how can we soften and release and hand over to God and the angels and the divine and the universal, it's like universal wisdom, giving it over, knowing that there is a higher purpose for all things, and that this particular thing that we're moving through is out of our hands. I can feel the emotion really coming through. It's time to let go. It's time to surrender, and it's time to give it over to God, give it over to the divine, and allow it to be divinely worked out. So setting that intention of handing over, I hand over to my high-level angels, guides, the ascended masters, those beings that walk beside me in the subtle realms that support my journey, to the divine consciousness within and around me, to my higher self, and to the universal wisdom that exists in this reality. I hand over all of my concerns, all of my worries and fears, all of my anxieties, all of the pain and suffering and sadness and grief and denial and needing to know, and all of the things that are binding me to a particular person, situation, experience, place, belief system. I hand it over to you now with faith and trust that it will work out as it should, that as it is how it should be right now. And really faith and trust that we are where we're meant to be. Things are as they are divinely supposed to be for this moment in time. And this particular thing is out of my hands. I am not in the driver's seat. I am merely surrendering to the flow of life right now. Going beyond normal. There's a lot around like thought, like ruminating thoughts, obsessive thinking. Again, it's that higher consciousness that I feel like we're being invited into. I saw an eagle on my walk this morning, and it just reminded me of this message of like letting it go, giving it over to God. The thoughts and the obsessive thinking and the rumination is actually not serving us. And this is a time of sweet, I'm hearing that song, Sweet Surrender. What is that song? Sweet surrender. It's the song I'm hearing. Focusing on the light. This is our only task right now, is to focus on tending to the light within us. Really like nourishing ourselves, coming back into self-love and self-care. Yeah, I really feel that. I definitely resonate with these messages myself. There's like a freedom though. Like I think whatever's happening right now, it's like it's actually creating more freedom. It's bringing us back into balance and creating more freedom. Release the old and rest. Yeah. Set your sights higher. I just feel like it's this, it's this message, a theme around whatever is happening right now, whatever's being released, it's divinely orchestrated to be so. We need to trust in there is a higher purpose for this, whatever's unfolding. And it's so that we can be the light. It's to bring us back into our own sacred self-connection and wisdom. And again, I mean, look how some of these be the light, focus on the light. We're being encouraged to come back to our own center, focusing on our inner light, our own heart space, our own tending to our own well within. Be open to healing information. This is Archangel Raphael, the angel of heart healing. And it's divine truth. It's like, I just felt it as soon as I connected with it. It's like your heart is telling you the truth, and it's divine wisdom. It's directed and divinely guided by your ancestors and your angels, and it's okay to listen to and focus on the healing information that's being delivered to you, because we're moving into a time period of thriving, and in order to thrive we must first go through the letting go of what is complete. Yeah, again, it's like this new life is being born. It's kind of like the old is being shed, so that new life, this new, and I feel like it has to do with heart healing. Yeah, a lot around trust, self-trust, and trusting in your intuition. Temple of the Rose. Excuse my nails. They are a bit of a situation right now. Ancient power, expression, activation, scarlet codes. Again, it's this really deep ancestral healing clearing. I feel that there is a lot happening around the heart space, around our connection to our own inner feminine and balancing our masculine as well. It's looking at our power, how we value ourselves, how we trust ourselves, and how we express ourselves. But it's an inner quest. It's like this invitation. Everything that's happening right now is the invitation to go inwards, to tend to the well within. It says, stop the endless searching, inner quest. Focus on the light. Be the light. It's an internal tending to releasing judgments of ourselves, of deepening our connection to our own heart space, of holding ourselves with more love and care. And it's just about bringing in that peace. Yeah, surrendering control, loving on ourselves, trusting what's unfolding, and finding any practice we can to return to a space of peace. And also, whatever's unfolding is to bring us back into a space of peace and balance. So I feel that too. It's like, and I'm being drawn to the ace in peace. So it's like beginnings. It's to begin in a new peaceful way. No place like home. It's bringing us further into being at home within our own skin, feeling that, what does home feel like to you? That comfort, that safety, that sense of belonging and security within. Yeah. Lots of lavender, like that peaceful energy. And I can feel it, even just like tapping into this energy. I just feel my nervous system, I'm starting to relax. I can just feel myself soften. I'm really being drawn to the eagle on this image. Like I saw the eagle this morning. It's seeing things from a higher perspective. It's like zooming out of our own experience of something and seeing it from all angles. Handing it over to God, to the divine, and asking for that divine wisdom and intervention. Because we're in a period of like, this reminds me of the card, the Hanged Man, which is like no forward movement. It's like a stuck sort of energy. And it's also an energy of looking at it from all different perspectives. So I feel like this is a pivotal moment in time of having an opportunity to know ourselves in a deeper way, why we do certain things, why we choose certain things, where we're operating from. Yeah. But it just, even as I'm speaking, I can feel myself softening, even with myself. It's like, yeah, really just letting go of that judgment and that harsh, critical force within us. Returning to love within and without. It's like really seeing the beauty and the fragility and the humbleness of the human experience. Rose without thorns. What was I just saying? You have a right to your joy. Peace, sweetness of life. Spirit is asking us to return to our own center, return to feeling the sweetness of life in all aspects. Whatever is happening, it's how can we look at it through the lens of the human experience and compassion and the sweetness and of the human experience. And returning to peace is really important at this time. I mean, there's a few cards now that have said peace. The bud, potential, promise, it's about to happen, keep going. Trust everything that's unfolding, trust how you're feeling, ride the waves, hand it over to God, Surrender when you feel you have surrendered and handed over. Surrender some more. It's about really like emptying into trust and coming back into our own divinity and loving ourselves from that place, seeing others through that lens, seeing situations through that lens of non-judgment, and just like we're all doing the best that we can from where we're at. You know, we're all just literally trying the best that we can from where we're at and what we're capable of and how we're capable of showing up. The invitation is self-awareness. The invitation is self-love. The invitation is tenderness and care to our own inner being. That's the invitation. Final messages. Final messages. Again, it's this hanged man energy, the sacred pause. And even like if you look at the image, like it's like she's just like, oh, you're just releasing everything over to the divine. I give it to you. I hand it to you. I trust your wisdom. I trust your guidance. I trust that what is for me won't pass me by. I trust what isn't for me is being removed for divine reasons. Coming back into center, breathing, connecting, grounding. Balance is really important. Spending time in nature, just, I feel like presence, breathing into presence. And just honoring our feminine energy. It's like there's a healing around the feminine right now. Healing to do with our feminine energy. That's what's being looked at and tended to. Excuse me. Remaining flexible and just focusing on taking one step at a time. What is the next best step? Day-to-day tasks. I feel like it's keeping things really simple, coming back into practicing really simple daily tasks. There may be an experience of choice points, you know, having a fork in the road, like, am I going to go left? Am I going to go right? And the only way that we're going to actually be able to choose clearly is by surrendering and coming back into our own center, breathing, honoring ourselves, self-inquiry around like why would we choose this, why would we choose that, and that I just feel it's really important to hand over to the divine right now. And it's not giving our power away. It's not like, oh, like I need you to sort my life out. I feel like I need to share that. It's more like the obsessive, controlling, needing to know, anxious rumination, fear, doubt. That is what needs to be handed over for clarity. Again, stop the endless searching. It's an inner quest. Yeah, purifying our thoughts and feelings and coming back into center to be able to move forward in a clearer way. So what do I mean by that? What's a practical kind of practice for that? Is that handing over, like literally giving it over to the divine, writing it down, putting it on your altar, write everything down, put it in a God box or on your altar space, or, you know, sometimes I go into nature and I just speak out loud and I pray and ask for guidance. Internally, just setting the intention of like, okay, when you notice those thoughts and feelings and that like energy arise, interrupting it and saying, I hand this over to the divine in faith and trust that what is for me won't pass me by, and what is for me will stay and remain. She feels, she knows. And again, it's this feminine healing. I really feel like there's a healing around trusting ourselves, trusting our light, trusting our intuition. Moving through quite a tumultuous time of deeper healing, deeper heart healing, knowing that it's serving a purpose, it's purposeful. And whatever it is that we're moving through is bringing us into more life within ourselves, more light. I want to say too, like we're accessing more of our own light through this process. Yeah. Trust in higher forces, shaman, dream and journey, the drum. Yeah. It's paying attention to your dreams. I just got reminded of a dream. Really paying attention to the messages that we're receiving in our dream space, because we're being guided by the divine. They're accessing our consciousness through our dream space. So pay attention to your dreams. What are the messages trying to tell you? Trusting it, even though it's hard to trust, or there is a part of us that doesn't want to know. She feels, she knows. It's like, but you do know, so you need to trust that. Again, message in a bottle. I feel like we're receiving messages from the divine, and it's about really acknowledging and trusting what the messages are communicating to us. And it says orphaned. So it feels like abandonment, wounding, isolation, rejection, wounding. Yes, a sense of not belonging or being excluded. And again, it's this divine alignment, and it's trusting that there is a divine aspect to what's unfolding. Like the divine is stepping in, and it's about trusting what is unfolding. We're being protected. This is like, wow, like the child within, inner mother, innocence, gentleness, tenderness. As soon as I connected with this, though, I felt like it's the divine mother. The divine mother is stepping in as a mother and being like, fuck no. Nope. I can see where this is going, and it's not going anywhere good. So I'm just going to step right in here, excuse me, coming through, and this is not going to happen anymore. Okay. So it's this, like, I can feel this like real mother bear energy coming online of the motherly protection of like, no, this isn't happening. We're not doing this. I have a greater understanding and awareness of what you can't see. And so I, the divine mother, am protecting my divine child. We are not doing this. And then on the side of that, it's mothering ourselves. It's a time of really tending to and meeting our own inner child and giving ourselves what it is we feel we need, whatever's coming up, like loving it and being with it and having patience with ourselves. Having patience with ourselves, that's a really big one. It's easier said than done, and I say this, I just want to be really transparent, hey, because authenticity is really fucking important to me. And I'm receiving messages through this because, I feel like this could be almost like a fucking personal reading. I really do hope that this is landing for others too. And then we've got Brothers of the Rose, sacred masculine honor, protection, support. I just can feel there is divine protection around us. Again, feeling like whatever is happening, it's the divine's way of intervening and redirecting things so that they actually go in our favor, so that we actually are walking a path that's in more divine union with ourselves. Yeah. It's like, you know, when a child is learning to ride their bike and the parents kind of like behind them and they're like, you know, like watching which direction the child's going. That's the divine right now. And the divine has kind of stepped in and gone, we're just going to kind of pull the handlebars and direct you this way. Not going that way. You need to start going this way. Because it's time for a reset in vibrancy in life and joy and sweetness. Again, it was that card that we had earlier that I've now put back. But yeah, it's around like coming to life and experiencing life from a more vibrant, higher vibrational, loving, expressive place. And I feel like whatever is happening and coming up right now, it's intentional because it would have led to being repeating patterns of suppression. And I want to say like, oh, I can feel it in my body. And I just got drawn to control on my computer. So it's like, yeah, trusting that you're being redirected so that there's more freedom to come to life. There's more for you to experience, essentially. It's just there's more for you to experience than what you have been experiencing. And that's why the divine is stepping in, and it feels a little bit chaotic and like there's conflict, but it's so that the divine can co-create with you in bringing your life into like way more abundance and life force and excitement and joy and sweetness. Trust the wisdom. Again, the owl, I just keep saying like, trust the wisdom of the divine. That's what's happening right now. And that there's parts of you that are like, I don't fucking want to do this, but it's for you. It's for you. There's a higher perspective that we're not seeing. So just trust it. All right, my darlings, I'm sending you all so much love. Yeah, I'm processing that reading myself. I'm kind of like, okay, cool. I needed to hear that. Sending you all my love. Let me know how that lands and resonates, and I'll talk to you soon. Ciao.